and welcome back to the second session of first day of this webinar. Theme of this session is virtual education, making it a real success. I am Kanchan Kumari, Assistant Professor of Loyola College of Education, is here to introduce the first speaker of this session, Dr. Vikramjit Singh. Welcome, sir. Dr. Vikramjit Singh, currently working as Associate Professor of St. Xavier's College of Education. He has more than 9 years of teaching experience and has developed several digital modules, e-content, and MOOC content. He has published 15 research articles in reputed journals. He has completed UGC minor research project as well. On behalf of LC family, I would like to invite Dr. Vikramjit Singh to enrich us with his wisdom and knowledge. So let's join him. Welcome once again, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. Good afternoon, everyone. First of all, I will give my regards to Father Anthony Raj SJ, and also like to congratulate him for organizing such a important webinar on a very important topic, which is quite relevant nowadays. So he has taken this pain in this particular condition of pandemic situation. He has taken this effort and he has organized this particular webinar, which is quite important and which is in this particular time period, whatever we are going through, and in the coming future also, this particular topic, I think, is very much relevant and it will be enriching for the participants, those who are participating in this particular webinar. So this particular session, which has been named as a virtual platform and making it a reality, is quite relevant. And basically, the time which has been allotted to me, I have planned in a way that I will try to deal with a few of the virtual learning platforms, because if I will be going with discussing many different virtual learning platforms, it will be taking more than 1 day or more than 2 days. But whatever time periods is allotted to me, I will try to confine myself to two particular important virtual learning platforms, which will be useful for all the teachers, all the teacher educators, and also the prospective teachers. So before going further, I will like to share my screen with you, which I have prepared, and it will help you to follow me in proper way. I think you are able to see my screen.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So as you can see here, this particular session, I will be discussing about some emerging virtual learning platforms and apps. So as I told you that it is quite not possible that I go on discussing many different apps and virtual platforms, but few of the very important ones which will be beneficial for all of you, so that you can plan your teaching learning in the coming time, whatever time is there, whatever in this current situation and in the coming future also, that will be very much helpful. So let me begin with certain quotes on virtual online learning. The first quote, as you can see, given by H.S. Jacobs. He is saying that training developers need to integrate technology seamlessly into the curriculum instead of viewing it as an add-on, an afterthought, or an event. So what this particular statement, or you can interpret from this particular statement, it is saying that the technology has to be the part of the curriculum. It should not be the add-on activity. Previously, whatever curriculum we are planning, we are trying to keep the technology as an add-on activity. If it is required, then we will add, or it will be, if it is not possible, then you cannot make it a part of the learning only. But now the demand of the time, because we are going to address the demand of the students which are belonging to digital age. They are called as digital natives. They can understand in more better way when you are giving them, when you are communicating with them in digital environment. So if you are going to address their demand, if you want to make the teaching learning more what you say productive, then you have to integrate the technology inside the curriculum. That means the curriculum has to be planned in such a way there where it shall be written that that particular curriculum or that particular content, how it can be delivered inside the classroom using the technology. So the technology should be the part of the curriculum, it should be inside the curriculum. So this is the future of education. Now coming to the second opinion of Seymour Papert of MIT, what he is saying, you cannot teach people everything they need to know. The best you can do is position them where they can find what they need to know when they need to know it. So this is quite relevant to these students of nowadays. Nowadays, you can see the students are very much impatient. They want whatever their requirement of learning is there, they want it immediately. Okay, they cannot wait for the next class or for the next meeting. They want whatever knowledge they want it immediately. So what you can do, you cannot sit in front of them and start discussing whatever their demand is there. Then what you can do, you can give them different virtual learning platforms from where they can gain their understanding, and then they can learn whatever their knowledge requirement is there in their own context also, because the context is also different for different students. So whatever their specific requirement will be there, they can get it from the virtual platform. So that is also one of the part of the teacher nowadays. What he can do is he can go for organizing different content or giving different virtual platform or different applications available to the students, so that they whatever their knowledge requirement is there, they can get it from there. So that is two of the things, two of the important quotation which I wanted to share with you. Now coming to the basic app which I wanted to discuss with you. Let us go to the next slide. Now just you can see the first one which you can see here is multimedia organizing and sharing platform. Why I have selected this one? See, the nature of the work of a teacher, what is the task of a teacher, is that he should be enriching his or her student with different learning resources. So whatever, it is not that only will give them the text material or face-to-face lectures only, but you can, in whatever possible ways, if you can provide them different type of learning resources using videos, using animation, using this one text files or different PDF files. So you should be capable of, as a teacher, you should be capable of that you can organize the resources very nicely at a particular place, and then you can provide it or you can share it with the students. So that is one category of particular application that I will like to discuss. There are many applications in this particular category, but one only I will like to discuss because of the time constraint. I will discuss only one, and the other one you can explore by yourself. I will name them so you can explore it. So what is that particular platform which I wanted to discuss with you is Wakelet.com. So I have experienced this particular resource. I have got through this particular application. It is freely available online. You can go to Wakelet.com and you can easily, this is particular website, you can create your account here, and then what you can see is you can virtually organize different type of learning resources here. So this is one of the important application, or if you can say, it is one of the learning platform where you can organize your resources. So you can visit Wakelet.com and you can just see the home screen. You will get it is whatever it is written here. You can follow it here. It is written everything in one place. So you can organize everything, whatever your learning resources is there, you can keep it here, and then you can later on you can share with your students, or you can share with your colleagues also, and with different learning communities. So it gives you one way of organizing your resources. It is very much dynamic, very much useful. So you can explore that one. So how to do that one? You can go and type on the URL address wakelet.com, and then you will be able to go to the home screen of this particular application. You can also download, you can just see in the next slide, you can also download the mobile app. in Android platform or in Apple platform. It is available in Apple platform also, and on Android version also. You can download it and you can use it in your mobile, because nowadays the teachers or the students, they are very much comfortable using the smartphone. So you can go and download in your mobiles also. So you can easily download it. It is many application you must be downloading, so you can download and install this particular app before using it. So afterwards, what you can do, every particular application if you want to use, then the next requirement is there that you have to create one account here. So creating one account here, what you can do, you can sign up. I already told you that you can sign up here. It is free. It is not, you have don't have to subscribe or pay certain amount for using this particular web resource. So what you can do, you can create one new account, or you can create one account using your Google account or Facebook account, as you have must be experiencing using different other web application. So you can create a new account. After creating new account, you will get one first page will be something like this. That what you are seeing here, it will be something similar to this one. So there are certain options here. You can see the first option, search option is there, then search school option is there, then showcase option is there, and home, you can understand your home screen. So this is your first screen. When you create one account in Wakelet, then you will get this first screen. Now what you can do, I already told you that you can create one good collection. It is very much useful for school teachers, for college teachers, that they can create one collection on particular topic. Suppose you are teaching science or you are teaching psychology, then you can create different learning resources related to particular topic, particular domain of area of study. Then and you can then afterwards you can share with the students. So you can see, if once we go to the home screen, you will get this plus sign. That means you can create a new collection, first collection if you want to make. Then suppose, let me give you one example. Suppose you are a science teacher and you are going to teach them gravitation, and you want to prepare resources that you can share with your students. So you can go to the search. It is not required that you start preparing it from scratch. What you can do, whatever existing resources may be also available, which are shareable, which is open, which is copyright free. So you can go and search that particular resource. In the search option, you can write the keywords gravitation or related keywords. So you will get different web pages already available there. Already Wakelet pages already made on this particular topic is available there. So if you find that it is useful for you, then you can take it from there and you can add to your particular new collection. Then Surf School, here you can go and learn how to create a new collection. That is one thing you can explore. And Showcase is the option from where you can once you prepare your Wakelet, then you can showcase to the different communities, to the students. And once you go to the Showcase, you will get different other Wakelet resources already available there, or it is in the Showcase mode. So you can click on that one, and then you can find that different interesting Wakelet pages are there. So in that way, you can create one new collection or a new Wakelet page you can create. This is one example. You can see in this particular page, it is about science, and it is first resource is about, it is a web page. So one web page, we found it that it is very much useful for your students. So you can just import it here and keep it here, so that afterwards, if you share to the students, they will be able to read that one. Then one video is there. That video is also related to your particular topic. So you can keep it here, you can organize it here, and later on you can share with the students. So in this way, you can also keep Twitter tweets. You can also keep here blogs. You can also keep here PDF files, whatever important things are. And one beautiful thing is there, that it supports embedding. Supports embedding means you can, if one Wakelet page you have created very nicely, and you find that you can share it using blogs. You have got blog platform also. You are using blog. Then on that blog, you can export this Wakelet page, and as whatever visibility, whatever way you are seeing that particular web page in Wakelet, the same way you will be seeing in your blog page also. So that embedding facility is also there. The other facility I will discuss. Let me come go step by step. You just see this what I was saying. What are the different resources you can add here? You can add resources from a website. Some website which is useful for your topic, your area of study. You visit that particular website, then you import that particular website and keep it on your Wakelet page. You can write something new. If you want to write something of your own, that particular type part also you can do. The third thing, you can import videos also. You can import videos and you can keep it here, which is useful for you. You can import tweets, you can add bookmarks, you can add images, you can add PDF, you can also import things from Google Drive or Outlook Drive. And then also you can also take the things from Flipgrid. Flipgrid is also one of the nice application where you try. It is also one type of new application where you create small videos. Suppose you want to communicate with your students, then you create one video, you put it there, and the students also, if they want to respond, they will also create one video. Then that they can share using Flipgrid. So these all resources you can put it on your Wakelet page. All the things you can put it on your Wakelet page. So what you can do, you can bookmark anything. What is the meaning of bookmarking? You must be knowing this particular thing. Bookmarking it is quite related to suppose one book you are reading, and then again in the next day if you want to study then that particular book, then to follow it from that particular page, you use certain markings or you certain objects to place it there, so that in the next day when you go to use that one, then you may not have to search all the pages. Similarly, bookmarking here means that suppose something very much related to your topic. Okay, something very much related to your topic. Suppose you are teaching research and you are getting something related to quantitative research while surfing on the internet, then you can import it here on the Wakelet page and you bookmark it using the keywords like research, then what is research, then definition of research, so that when in the future someone is trying to search that particular topic, immediately that particular page of yours will be open. So that is called bookmarking, so that the search will be very much, or it will be saved such that you can locate it very easily. Then you can organize the things. I already told whatever resources are there, you can organize it in very nice manner, whatever possible manner. You can decide the theme. You can organize first one something written by you, then you have put one video from YouTube, then you have put certain images, then some PDFs. So in that way you organize the things, and later on you can collaborate. So suppose a particular paper you are teaching with some other teacher and you want to collaborate with that particular teacher, then what you can do, you can share that page with that particular teacher. He can also develop in that particular Wakelet page. You have found certain resources, he is also finding certain resources, then you both can collaborate, and then that particular Wakelet page will be more better, or it will be more enriching. And then later on you can share with this. Sharing can be done with different other ways. You can share with using blog, using WhatsApp, and if the simplest one, what you can do is, if the students, sometimes students want it in printed form. Okay, they don't want to go in this particular online form. Then what you can do, you can download it as PDF. That option is also available. Wakelet one collection you have created, and then you wanted to share it with your students, then you can download it and print it as PDF, and then you can distribute among the students. So that way you can also do that one. This is one thing which I wanted to share with you, and it is very much enriching. If you explore this one, you will find it that it is very much useful, that in a way you can connect with your students. Nowadays, Wakelet extension is also available. You can go to your Google Chrome and then you can download one extension. extension, Wakelet extension. Once you download, then in your URL bar, that extension will be visible like this, W. So whenever you are surfing on the internet, you found something very much important or very much related, directly you can click in this particular W icon and it can be bookmarked in your Wakelet page. So you need not have to go there. You can directly from your that extension tab, you can directly create one new collection. So that is one of the important new feature which has been added. Now, if you want to learn more about this one, you can download. You can in this educator guide is available there on the this web platform. When you go to wakelet.com, you go to the support part and the for educator parts. This part, if you go, you can download the educator's guide and you can read it, and then you can create very nice collection. So this is one of the important thing which I wanted to share with you. Now, the next thing which I will like to share just before going to that one, I already told that there are different other options available. You can use Google Sites also to create new this one multimedia sharing option. You can go to Flipgrid. Blog is very much popular and very much useful. You can create blogs also. There also you create creation and then you can share. Mahara also you can create creation. You can share with the student. But I told you that you use this Wakelet. Wakelet will be very much nice for you. You explore that one, and then you can, and any problem if you are facing, then you can connect to me and I will try to help you. Now, the next thing, two things I have decided to share with you. The next thing which I wanted to share with you is the learning management system. Now, just you try to see. Nowadays, when you are connecting with the students, you are able to organize the classes using Zoom or Google Meet or other different other virtual meeting applications are there. But what about something which is related to managing the students? That means communicating with them. It is not about that only for 40 minutes or 1 hour you are just teaching them virtually using Google Meet or Zoom platform, but 24 hours round the clock also. If you want to manage the students, certain platforms should be available which will be helpful for you, so that you feel like that your students are connected with you. So there should be certain learning management system. Here also different examples are there, but I have tried to take one of the easiest one which you can use, because for other one I have to take an entire session so that I can discuss it in a nice manner. Many are there. Moodle is there. Then you can also know about this one. Edmodo is there. Then the third one which I will discuss is Google Classroom, the most easiest one. Google Classroom I will discuss. All of you use this one, you will feel like that you are connected with your students, because the name always says that Google Classroom. You feel like you are in the classroom, you are with your students. But if you talk about dedicated learning management system, then it is Moodle is there, or it is open source. You can download it. It has got different options, multiple options. So that is if you are very little bit techno savvy and if you want to devote a lot of time, then you can use that one. Or if you are administrator of a particular organization, then you go for Moodle. But for a particular teacher, a prospective teacher or a school teacher or a college teacher, if you want to go for managing his classroom, then he should go and use this particular easiest app which you can use it. It is very much convenient, and then you can feel like that you are connected with the students. So that is called Google Classroom. So here also it is available on desktop version and also in the mobile version. You can download in mobiles and you can also download using desktop option. So it is quite easily downloadable. It is size is 12 MB, so you can download it. Now, what are the different things it can do? So it creates a central home for class activities. So it creates something which is related to, you will feel like that you are in the classroom. Suppose in nowadays, whatever situation is there, you are not physically you are very much distant from your student. But this particular platform will give you an experience that you will feel like that your students are sitting with you, or the students are connected with you. And it is very much easy to use. Different other options, it depends upon the teacher how in creative way he can use. So what you can do, you can give assignment to the students, you can collect assignment from the students, you can give them feedback, you can pass different messages to them. Then you can give different, you can return the assignment. If you are not happy with their work, then you can give them feedback. You can ask them for resubmission. So here what you can do is, I'm just talking about this web platform. You can go and just dot it down in your URL bar, classroom.google.com. So once you will click this one, then, and you must have, all of you have got the Gmail account. So it is operating with your Google account only, because it is Google application, Google for Education app. It is also free of cost because it comes under Google for Education app. So once you click in the, once you go for this classroom.google.com option, then in the home screen you will get this. You are just, you can see here one plus sign is there. First time if you are creating. So what you can click in this plus sign and you will get two options there. One option will be for creating a new class and the other option will be joining a new class. So because you are going for the first time, then you have to create a particular class. So you click on that create classroom option. Then it will ask you how you want to name that particular class. You give the description of that particular class, and then once you click on the create option, then your classroom will be created. You can have the look of that particular thing. This you can see. I have for you. I have tried to prepare this slide so that you can easily understand. This is one of the Google Classroom platform. This is from my account only. See, you can see many classes are already there. So once you enter into the classroom, Google Classroom dashboard, then you will get different classes which you have already made. If you want to create a new one, then you go to plus sign, and as I told you, you go for create class, then name the class, then give section. Suppose if you go for the school, you can write here class 6, section B, subject mathematics, room. If you have got allotted room, you can give, because this will give you a feeling of that you are connected with the students. So you can give a room number also. So you can name the class, you can give the section, and then subject to decide and click on create. So once you click on create, your classroom will be created. So that you can do. After clicking this particular option, what you will get is, you will get this particular screen. This is your first screen. Once you create your new class, you can see there are 4 options. I will be discussing about this one so that you can easily use this one, because I found it that it is very much useful for the teachers. The teachers as well as students used to enjoy this one. They found it very much relevant. It is very much effective. So once you use this one, you will find it that how nicely you can manage your classes. So once you go to the home screen, you will get this type of screen. What are the different options available here? So you can go and you can select the theme of that particular class. If you want a particular theme, pre-decided, pre-loaded themes are there. You can also upload from outside. And if a classroom photo is there, suppose one class you have already got your class, entire class, one photograph is there, then you can upload that photograph also here. So that you can do by going to this particular option. Then you can see here that something written as class code. So once you create your class, that class will be having one code. So what is the usefulness of this code? This code identify your class. Suppose for adding to this particular webinar today, you must have got different links, or some of you must have added using the code also. So here also this code can be used so that the students can be added to your classroom. See, your classroom is never complete until unless students are there. So the student has to be also the part of your classroom. So what you can do, you can share this particular code with your students. So in what way you can share? You can give them, you can tell them verbally, or you can pass it through WhatsApp message or different other platforms. So once they will go to this particular account, and then they will create their account in the similar way as the teacher has created. So once he will create in the plus sign, he will not go for creating a class, he will go for joining the class option. So in the joining the class, when he will click, then it will ask you the code. So that code he will give, and then if you click on the join, then he will be directly adding to this particular class. So this is the use of this class code. So this is your home screen, the first screen when you create your new class, you will get this type of screen. Now I'll discuss about these other options. Let us go to the next slide. So this is one way of joining to that particular class. This is shortcut way. You can say, you can share the code with the students, and the students will be able to join using that particular code. Now the other way is that you must have seen that 4 options are here. So other way is that you go to this people option. Click there in people option, then you will get this type of screen where 2 options are available, teachers and students. Again, just try to see if you are a teacher, you are sharing your paper with someone else, you want them also to join you in your class, then you can add teachers also in your class. It is quite obvious, you can join them also. They can also communicate with the students, they will also share the things with the students, and collaboratively we can work. So if you want to join teachers, you click in this option. If you want to join the students, most of the times you are going for this one only, students option. So you have to click in this second option here. So you click on this option, then you will get this type of dialog box. This dialog box, you click the email IDs. If you know their email IDs, just click the email IDs, and then you click on the invite option. So once you click on this invite option, automatically the email will be going to their email account. So in their email account, they will get one invitation that for joining that particular class, the teacher or the students, and after clicking that particular link, they can directly join to this particular class. So this is the other way by which the students can join to a particular class, or the teachers can join to the particular class. So this I just talk about this first option, people. Now coming to the other option, this is stream. Stream means your first code of your particular class, first stream, where you are streaming this. Now you must have joined this particular meeting, and there that option is there, go for direct streaming of this particular webinar. So here also, this is the stream of your class. So what you can do, what is the role of this stream? You can give announcements to the students, you can communicate with the students, you can give them certain messages. If you want to pass certain messages that, okay, your class will be scheduled for the next day, or this is particular, some particular instruction you want to give, or the students can also ask their doubt with you. So they can ask their, put their question there, you can communicate there. So this is the first particular streaming of your particular class. You can communicate here, you can chat with them, and you can give them feedback. So this is the task of stream. So I have talked about stream, I have talked about people. I hope you are clear about this one. Now coming to the most important option, that is called classwork. Now coming to this classwork option, this is the most important, and you try to understand how you are going to use this one, because many options are available here. Now before going to this classwork and discussing about this main theme, I will just show you one particular thing that you can see here. One class driver folder is there. That means that tells that once you create one account in Google Classroom, then automatically one devoted folder is created in your Google Drive named with that particular class. That means whatever resources you will be sharing in this particular classroom, automatically it will be stored in a particular folder. If you will go to your Google Drive, you will search there, you will find that that one folder is there with that particular name of your particular class. Suppose this particular folder is named as, this particular class is named as PhD Education. So you will get in Google Drive, you will get one folder which is named as PhD Education. And if you open there, you will find different resources, whatever you have shared with the students, whatever PDFs, text material, whatever things you have shared, all the things will be stored here. So that I wanted to discuss with you. Google Calendar, you know what you do from this one. It has got general rules. So I will not, this is not so much important, because I want to discuss the most important part, this one. Now you go to your classwork, you click in this create option, you will get this many options here. What are the different options here? Assignments, quiz assignments, questions, material, reuse post, and topic. I will discuss all of them together. First, let me talk about, and one of the most important, I will try to explain you in elaborate way. Now, it's first coming to this quiz assignment. Suppose
Sorry
something.
for interrupt, Vikramjit sir, sorry for interruption.
Uh-huh.
There is the time limit of 30 minutes, so let's wind up, sir, please.
Okay. 5 minutes. I think I can take 5 minutes.
Okay, you can proceed.
5 minutes only it is required.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
okay. So if you are going for this quiz assignment, so if you are teaching to the students, then you can give them and you want to assess them that how much they have learned, then you can go for this quiz assignment. Once you click in this quiz assignment, you will get Google Forms option. You must be using that one, and you can create quiz using that Google Form. And you can pass with your students. They can automatically attempt that particular quiz, and then you can know that how much they have learned. So that is the use of quiz assignment. Now the question, if you want to ask them direct question, then you can go to this option and you can ask the question to them, and then you can schedule that means in how much time you want that response. So that much the time you will take engage, and then the answer you can see that how much the students have learned the things. So you can ask direct question here. This is most important. If you want to share the materials with the students, you go to this particular material option. You click in material option, and then you can attach different files, PDFs, text, PPT, whatever things you want to share, you can go for this one. Reuse post is suppose this quiz you have made and you want to use it second time for this next batch, you can go and use this reuse post. Topic is something called labeling. If you want to keep, suppose this is one label, practicum. So in this practicum option, you can go for different options, quiz, assignment, and also it is one type of creating labeling option so that easily anyone can locate. So this is the last point which I wanted to discuss about assignment. And after this assignment, I will end my particular presentation. So this is how to create assignments. This is the important part. Once you will click in assignments, this is the screen you will get. So you give the title of your assignment. You give the instructions to the students. Then you can add different things from Google Drive. You can add certain links. You can add certain files. Suppose you want the student that you watch this particular YouTube, then give your reflection. Then you can add that YouTube video, and then afterwards the students will give their reflection. From Google Drive, you want to upload something for that particular assignment, you can upload, and then they can answer. In create option, you can see these all options are available. Suppose you want for the collaborative work you want to do from the student. So go to this document option, you write whatever things are required. And once the students will get that particular document, all the students can simultaneously write on this particular document. So ultimately, you will see that which student has contributed how much. Slides also in the similar way, sheets also in the similar way. So these are to make your assignment more enriching. You can use this option. Otherwise, you just go for instruction. And what are the other things which are available here? You can assign to which class you want to give the assignment. You can assign the students. Basically, all the students will be there. You can assign the marks. Then you can decide the deadline when you want that particular assignment to be returned, that what is the last date. So you can decide on the date and you can decide on the time. Then you can name that particular assignment. One of the important aspects is you can add rubric. Suppose you have decided certain criteria for evaluation, some scoring key for your assignment. So that scoring key you can upload there, and that rubrics they will get. By following this rubric, they can go for their assignment. Accordingly, they can submit. And afterwards, you can click on this assign option. You can schedule. You can ask for a later date also, but you can use this. After clicking on this, the students will get the assignment. Once they will submit the assignment, you will get this particular thing. See, you can see how many assignments are there. So many assignments you can see. You can see like this, and you can give the marks to the students directly and return them. They will get that they have scored how much. And the last slide, once you go for the grading and giving the feedback, you can see that I told you that this one that assignment if you give, you can add a rubric there. A rubric was added. So this rubric, you can see that these marks are being graded here. All the marks are visible. And you can give them certain private comments. Suppose your task is not up to the mark, then you can ask them that you can submit again. So in that way, you can go and give them feedback and grade them. So these things I wanted to share with you. I told you that there are other platforms also, like Moodle is there. It is dedicated learning management system. And Edmodo is very much similar to Google Classroom. Once you will be able to use Google Classroom, you will be able to use Edmodo also. All the things are similar. So thanks to all the participants for listening me so much carefully. I hope something you must have learned. And then you can, if some doubts are there, you can share with me. This is my email ID and mobile number. So thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Kanchan, ma'am. You can take over.
Thank you, sir. This session was
Thank you.
very informative and useful for the teachers. We wanted to listen to you, but time doesn't permit us, sir. Once again, sorry for interruption.
So that's okay.
Now I want to thank you, sir, once again, for your precious and valuable talk, sir. Now I would like to hand over